Okay, so I know it's kind of windy and the car's kind of dirty, but I mean, this is just a general overview. What you're going to want to look for whenever you buy a salvage title car is just the little tiny details. This car's a salvage title, it was wrecked. It's the one I sent you in the picture, all right? Now, a big thing to tell with a salvage title car is if it has been in a wreck, you're going to notice things. Take your finger, or you can look. I mean, just try to see how straight these body lines are. If you see it's as thin as like a pencil lead right down here, but it's as wide as my finger up here, that means that it was hit hard and that they couldn't get the fender line right. I mean, and it goes the same with every body line right here. Not a lot of people can catch these things, but this hood sticks up just a tiny little bit more than over here on this side. This side totally flush. This side, it kind of catches on my hand a little bit. Another thing is obviously paint quality. This bumper is not the original paint. This bumper did have to be repainted when this came off because it bashed it all down. You can't see it in the pictures, but it's there. It's dirty right now. You can see the specks, but I mean, that's just water from because it's been raining here. I mean, you can see my reflection, so the paint's obviously very nice. Another good way to tell is you take your hand right here. You see this? Make sure the wheels are completely straight. I think mine are. I can check here in a second. From my thumb to my pinky, right? And I'm not squishing it. So you're going to take that hand and you're going to come over here. And you're going to put it right here. And it's the exact same distance. And that's a good way to tell if there's anything messy with that. And you can do that with all sides. So there's 4 fingers here. And there's 4 fingers here. Okay? Same thing with your body lines. Even windows can tell you a big story. These body lines on this car are laser straight, besides that tiny little one on the hood. And if you do find one like that, like this car does have the one mismatched body line. This is also important on the top, like right here. If you do find one mismatched body line on the whole car, it is dismissible. But if you find one here and one here and here, that throws up red flags, and that's not good. Next thing you obviously want to look for are the little things that matter. I don't know what kind of damage this car had, but let's say that it was water damage, right? They left the window down, it ruined the electronics, whatever the case may be. So you're going to come in here. You want to make sure it starts within the first or second crank. You don't want it to continuously crank and crank and crank and then start. Yeah, it starts, but how it starts makes a difference. You're going to look at all of these little things right here. You're going to look at the speed, and you're going to look at your little dash lights right here. This car recently did have a seatbelt recall, or an airbag recall, and it does have the light on, but I know how to fix it, and I'll take care of it another time. You're going to check these. You're going to check your volume, right? You're going to check this. You're going to turn the air conditioning on, and you're going to turn it off, and you're going to turn the heat on, you're going to turn it off. You're going to make sure all this stuff works. You can turn your turn signal on and honk the horn at the same time, because sometimes whenever you have 2 things going at once, the wires only like to work one at a time, if that makes sense, whenever things get wet. So you're going to make sure that these things, would work like a normal car would work. Obviously your lights and stuff, those are important, but it is much easier to replace a light bulb than it is to replace a whole car. Little things matter, like this. If this is broken, I mean, that's something that you can haggle on the price with. Same with this. This thing shakes just a little bit. If I was to buy this car, I'd say, hey, this thing, it's a brand new car. Why is it shaking like that? Oh, well, I'll just take $100 off the top. Make sure it opens and closes nicely. And then you're going to check the condition. Like if you look inside of these things, you can see that they're very clean as you go through. Because like right here, they'll get some dirt and they'll be like, and whenever you clean a car, it's in park. So now that dirt's all the way up here with this big plastic piece. So, I mean, you can tell how, and that's not bad, okay? But you can tell how a car was cared for. Because if you have a car like this that's cared for, it's going to be clean, it's going to be vacuumed, it's going to be done very nicely. If they just decided to polish it up, make it look spectacular for the weekend, but they didn't take care of it one day in its life, then you're going to buy yourself a car that's not very good. So you can tell the little details. And of course, this is a bit much, but under the seats right here, you can tell if there's like a lot of goop. Sometimes people drink in their car, they spill it, they'll wipe off right here, they'll forget. Another great place to tell is right underneath of here, how clean or dirty it is. I've looked at cars that it is immaculate right here, but you look under here and there was mold growing on the bottom because it was owned by a family that had those door cup holders that came right here, and it just spilled and it leaked and leaked and leaked, and it just absolutely destroyed the door panel. It was disgusting. Another way to tell, and this is with any car you look at, if it's got a salvage title, and mine is hidden very well. It'll have this red tag, and it says State of Kansas salvage title. No, it says rebuilt salvage vehicle. That's how you know any car is a salvage vehicle. But I mean, it's obviously hidden very, very well. And most of the time, it'll be somewhere right here, somewhere here. My grandpa, the lady left it on here, and he said, and he knew that. He took it. He was not supposed to do this. He put it right there so you couldn't see it. And the lady kind of got upset with him at that. My car is obviously a little dirty. If you see this is normal. Rocks, whatever, that's normal. Don't worry about that. But I'm talking about the deep stuff that matters, that you're just gonna, wipe off. And I mean, you want to pay attention to how it runs and how it does what it's supposed to do. Another thing you can do, all right, see where the sun is at? It's right here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come and you're gonna put the sun right on the car, and you're gonna roll over, and you're gonna look at this with your eyes, and you're gonna say, okay, here's a dent here, here's a dent, and there's not. I'm just giving you examples. You can see like, oh, that's a cloud. But you can be like, oh, there's a mark in the paint right there. See if I can find it then. You can see one that's right there, just tiny, size of my pinky, right? You can see the quality, how it was fixed right there. Same thing with the trunk. And then you can see this just happened the other day, someone door dinged me, but for showing you, I mean, you can see and use other cars. See how that Jeep in the back, that green Jeep, it's making that sway all funky? That's showing you, hey, there's a dent there. All right, now I'm assuming it's a rear-wheel drive car, but it doesn't matter. You can tell if it's been beaten hard. Like if you're buying a sports car, high-end sports car, BMW, Challenger, Mustang, whatever, these will be worn down bad. Now, this depends on the type. If you're buying this from a kid, chances are this has been worn down. If you're buying this from an adult, then it's probably just normal wear and tear, but worn down versus wear and tear, because I can spin these off and I'll make these bald as they'll get out. And I don't spin this car, but maybe like once a year. It matches this very nicely. There's not a lot of bad wear on these, and it's the same with all four corners. If, let's say, the back is brand new and the front is brand new, you can also look at the tire brand. That is a good way of seeing, hey, maybe they've spun the rears off, but they replaced them to match a newer tire from the front. So it kind of makes it seem like it was a very well cared for car, but it was raced, or it was spun, or it was whatever. Going back into the interior, you're obviously going to make sure that all these windows roll down and roll up. And sorry if you can't hear me, it's very windy today for some reason, and it wasn't earlier. Open the hood. You're going to do all this. Check your parking brake. That's how you do that. I don't know how to get it up, actually. Oh yeah, that's how you get it up. Push it, it'll click. Check your parking brakes. Same deal. I mean, pretty common stuff. Check your power seats. When it comes to checking in the hood, under the hood, I mean, you're gonna check things. Big thing to check. Listen to me when I tell you this. Check the engine oil. Check the engine oil. Check the engine oil. If there is no oil in this car, you run away. I don't care how great of a car it is, how nice it looks, how shiny the paint is, how perfectly it was fixed. There's no oil in this car, you don't want it. That is a blown motor. And I've dealt with blown motors before, and it's awful. This car was hit in the front. They probably will have these plastic covers on there, but you can see underneath it here, there's little frame pieces. If it was hit hard, these will be bent, they'll be pushed in, but you won't see it because it's underneath all this plastic stuff. And this is this whole thing that's completely hidden. This car has no damage on any of the plastic stuff. You can take this off, you can search it, you can do anything you want on this car. Now, I doubt if he's gonna let you take his car apart. But I mean, if you can, just put your finger under there. Take a peek. If you see bent metal and crushed up, he's hiding something. Listen for ticks, watch these little wheels. These ones are spinning nice and smooth, but if they sit here and they spin like this, I mean, that's not good. That's a problem. Turn the air conditioning on. Watch whenever you're watching for those wheels, turn the air conditioning on. Check the oil. I cannot stress that enough. Check the oil, it's so important. Listen for any weird noises. Listen for rocks, whatever, you know what I mean. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. That's pretty much all you gotta do. Just pay attention to the little details.